seasonal cycles. There is an old saying in stock market circles that refers to the best time of the year to buy stocks. It suggests that the winter months are usually positive moves in the market, followed by a decline in January and February, also a decline during summer. Well, we should be specific about this as it is our money on the line. In the chart, we can see the exact returns of the S&P 500 on a monthly basis. So here we can see the month, January, February, March, April, May through to December. And here you can see the average gains for that month across the entire period. So what does this tell me? It certainly shows me that the lowest returns have been in February and in September. Perhaps they could be, towards the end of that month, an ideal time to buy, as you would see a good strong return in March, April. May has provided positive overall returns, and June and July. Certainly September has been not a particularly good period, followed by a surge towards the end of the year. That seems to be the average across all of the years measured here. So to clarify that, we see the best months to be in the market are January, March, April, July, certainly October and November. Even December had a very strong return, over 1.5% on average. Now this is an average, and there are of course years where the months will bring negative returns. We're dealing with probabilities, and this information I'm sure you'll find very useful for your trading. Of course, I recommend that you use all of the analysis strategies and techniques highlighted in this book and training to make a decision. Never base a decision only on one indicator or theory alone. Well, there we have it. But that last chart was an average of the last 60 years. And in the stock market, things change. Things are always changing. And the character of the monthly returns over a 60-year period could well have changed. So being a technical analyst, of course, I have this information for you. Let's review if things have actually changed over the decades. Now here we have the level of drill down we need. We now see that for the last 3 decades, March, April, May, October, November, December were the only months that registered positive returns. So here we can see the 80s, the 90s and the 2000s. You can see here immediately the 2000s was not a very good decade with so much negativity for every month during the 2000s. But if we look at the last 3 decades, which is a much fairer measure, I believe, the only months to have achieved always a positive return on average for the last 3 decades, March, April, May, October, just November and December. So that's 50% of the 12 months have been on average over 30 years every month positive. Now you can see with the 80s and 90s, only analysing that, you can see because they were pretty good decades in terms of stock market returns. You can see here January, February also were positive, and June, July was also positive. So certainly some slightly more positive statistics for the 80s and 90s. However, even in the grim 2000s, we have seen where these arrows are in terms of March, April, May, and October, November, December, certainly positive results even in the 2000s. There is a seasonal effect, and it does repeat itself. This could be due to a whole host of factors, but as we are reviewing cycles technically, we need not necessarily ruminate about the possible causes. We need only know that the effect is clearly there. So an easy way to remember this information is perhaps 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12 as the months that have historically over the last 30 years produced very, very good results.